We made a deal to tell this story, and we're telling this story.
Bella Ramsey wasn't supposed to be a joke. She was supposed to be the future. The bold new face of a franchise that had already conquered gaming and was now dominating television. But somewhere between the red carpets and the rage tweets, something snapped. And now, she's the punchline in a Simpsons episode, while HBO quietly shuts the door behind her. First came the cancellation, then came the silence. And finally, the savage parody that mocked her into oblivion. This isn't just a story about a show being canceled. It's about how a rising star fell from Hollywood's highest cliff, and how an animated cartoon might have sealed her fate. Bella Ramsey thought she was changing the game. Instead, the game deleted her save file. So before we dive into the real madness, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe. You don't want to miss what's coming next. The real bombshells are just getting started. Bella Ramsey's rise to fame was the kind of Cinderella story the industry dreams about. After captivating audiences in Game of Thrones as the fierce Lyanna Mormont, she was handpicked to play Ellie in HBO's live-action adaptation of The Last of Us. It was a bold casting choice. Not everyone was convinced, but Bella delivered. Critics applauded her raw, emotional performance. The show was a hit. Season 1 broke records. Social media praised her authenticity, and fan art exploded across every corner of the internet. Bella Ramsey was everywhere, and the buzz around Season 2 and 3 was deafening. But something shifted. Somewhere between success and superstardom, the tone changed. Bella started speaking out. Boldly, loudly, and sometimes recklessly. The charming young actress who won hearts suddenly became the center of heated debates. And in Hollywood, momentum can shift in a heartbeat. Bella Ramsey had never been afraid to speak her mind, but soon it started to backfire. In interviews, she began questioning the source material of The Last of Us. She criticized story arcs, suggested the show should take more creative liberties, and doubled down on political commentary during press tours. One moment she was talking about representation. The next, she was calling parts of the fanbase toxic, accusing critics of being stuck in the past, and mocking gamers who wanted the series to stay true to the game. Fans didn't take it well. Hashtags like Not My Ellie and Last Office Ruined began trending. Reddit threads erupted with thousands of upvotes debating whether Bella had completely misunderstood the character. YouTube reaction videos dissected every interview, every quote, frame by frame. She was no longer the Ellie people connected with. She became something else entirely, a symbol of everything fans feared Hollywood was doing to their favorite stories. Then came the bombshell. The Last of Us Season 3 was canceled. No press conference, no dramatic announcement, just a cold, clinical press release citing creative restructuring. But inside sources told a different story. Behind the scenes, tensions were boiling. Executives were reportedly furious over Bella's erratic media presence. Directors clashed with her over tone and delivery. Test audiences weren't responding the way they had in Season 1. And after months of internal meetings, HBO made a brutal decision. They dropped the show, and more importantly, they dropped her. Bella Ramsey's team was blindsided. She wasn't even notified directly. Instead, an agent forwarded the news with a single sentence. They're not moving forward. You're out. The silence from HBO was deafening. And just when things couldn't get any worse, The Simpsons showed up. No one was prepared for what The Simpsons did next. In a move that blindsided even the most jaded media insiders, the longest-running animated show in history released a blistering parody episode titled The Past of Us. At first, it looked like a generic nod to the apocalypse genre, but viewers quickly realized this wasn't about zombies. It was about Bella Ramsey. The character wasn't subtle. A moody, over-animated teen called Smella Gramsey took center stage. She stomped around Springfield delivering overwrought monologues about being misunderstood, screamed at villagers for not validating her trauma, and blamed her failed show on patriarchy and pixelated toxic masculinity. The digs were savage. At one point, Smella throws an Emmy at the wall because it wasn't diverse enough. In another scene, she demands a reshoot because the apocalypse wasn't feminist. The coup de grace, a theater scene where her post-apocalyptic movie premieres to an empty audience, except for a single janitor asleep in the front row. It was brutal, but it was also viral. Clips of the episode dominated TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube within hours. Influencers reacted live. Gaming streamers who rarely even mentioned TV jumped into the trend, laughing at how accurate it all felt. Bella Ramsey wasn't trending for her talent anymore. She was trending because The Simpsons reduced her entire career into a punchline. And somewhere, reportedly watching live, was Bella herself. If The Simpsons was the match, Bella's reaction was the gasoline. At first, it was silence. Her X account, formerly Twitter, went quiet. No posts, no likes, no story reposts, just nothing. But behind the scenes, insiders say Bella was furious, pacing, crying, and demanding that her team issue a response. She reportedly called the parody a hate crime in animation. But the dam broke on a Sunday night. Bella went live on Instagram for a tear-filled 15-minute stream that began mid-sentence and ended with a trembling, "I'm done pretending." She didn't name The Simpsons directly, but the message was unmistakable. She accused unnamed forces in Hollywood of turning on her. She said she was chewed up, laughed at, and spit out. She called out the algorithm, the corporate snakes, and even her former PR reps, saying, "They told me to smile through it. They told me to be quiet." F that midstream, she broke down entirely. Thousands watched in silence. The comment section split in real time between messages of support and brutal mockery. Then the live stream vanished. Deleted, wiped clean. But it was too late. The clips were already everywhere. Twitter reposted every tear. YouTubers edited dramatic montages with sad music and zoomed-in freeze frames. One TikTok caption read, "From Ellie to emo in 60 seconds." Her pain had become content. And worse, content people were laughing at. While Bella spiraled publicly, Hollywood made moves, quietly and coldly. Behind closed doors, the meltdown set off alarms. PR experts called it unrecoverable. Agents at major firms began distancing themselves. Bella's name, once pitched as a must-have Gen Z lead, was now being flagged on internal memos with warnings like risk factor high and unfiltered behavior observed. Directors who had shown interest in her talent after season 1 were suddenly passing. One Netflix executive was quoted off-record saying, "She's got talent, but she's too online." Too unpredictable. Her own agency, allegedly frustrated by her refusal to stay off social media, stopped pitching her to prestige projects. Big-budget films went dark. She was no longer on shortlists. She was quietly pushed into the shadows. Even Pedro Pascal, who had once publicly praised her, began declining interview questions about their dynamic. Rumors swirled that he had warned HBO privately about Bella's erratic energy and told colleagues she needed a year of silence and soul-searching. Bella Ramsey had gone from Emmy buzz to cautionary tale in less than 6 months. While Hollywood retreated, the fans went to war with each other. On one side stood the defenders. Hardcore Bella loyalists, many from LGBTQ+ and progressive communities, believed Bella had been wronged. They saw her as a truth teller, a vulnerable artist chewed up by a sexist corporate machine. Hashtags like Stand With Bella and Let Ellie Speak began trending on X. They launched change.org petitions demanding HBO restart Season 3 with Bella in the lead. One video, titled "Bella Ramsey Deserves Better," gained 500,000 views in 2 days and was shared by dozens of indie filmmakers. But the other side, they were done. Done with the drama, done with the attitude, done with the girl who, in their eyes, ruined a franchise. Reddit threads cataloged every cringe quote she ever gave. They screen captured deleted posts. They reshared her live stream breakdown with mocking subtitles. A meme of Bella crying under the phrase, "This is your queen," made the front page of Reddit. Some even created a counter petition titled "Do Not Bring Bella Ramsey Back as Ellie," which reached over 100,000 signatures in a week. Discord servers exploded with arguments. TikTok fandoms fractured. Instagram fan pages either disappeared or rebranded to Pedro-only content. The very community that built Bella Ramsey into a star was now tearing her apart, piece by piece. What the public didn't see, what wasn't tweeted or live-streamed, was the quiet chaos happening behind the curtain. According to a leaked HBO production memo that surfaced on an anonymous industry blog, The Last of Us Season 3 had been under internal review for months. The showrunners had allegedly stopped sharing script updates with Bella's team. Early drafts were being retooled, then abruptly scrapped. One line from the leak said it all. "We may need a fresh face to carry forward." That fresh face? Anyone but Bella Ramsey. Insiders claimed she was increasingly difficult to direct. She reportedly challenged scripts on set, rewrote dialogue mid-shoot, and refused multiple reshoots unless the material aligned with her evolving brand values. One executive was quoted saying she wanted to be the star and the showrunner, and she was neither. Crew members whispered about tense moments where filming halted entirely due to Bella's emotional responses to criticism. A scene that should have taken 30 minutes would stretch into hours because she kept interrupting for reframing. And worse, there were allegedly private confrontations between Bella and the show's directors about political messaging. While the showrunners wanted balance, Bella pushed for more activist-centered content, despite warnings that it could alienate a large portion of the global audience. The image of Ellie was being reshaped, and HBO didn't like what it saw. Neither did the original fans. While Bella's Hollywood future collapsed behind closed doors, the Simpsons parody turned into a global phenomenon. Clips from the Past of Us episode flooded the algorithm. TikTok creators used audio from the show to create their own skits mocking Bella's on-screen rants. YouTubers broke down the episode scene by scene, pointing out every Easter egg mocking her career. One video was titled, "The Simpsons just canceled Bella Ramsey on national TV," and it hit 10 million views in under a week. Late-night comedians jumped in too. Jimmy Kimmel joked, "Ellie got clickered by cancel culture." Saturday Night Live released a digital short called The Last of Oops, featuring an overdramatic Bella clone played by Chloe Fineman bursting into tears over poor Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Even international audiences joined the roast. French parody accounts dubbed the Simpsons scene with exaggerated Bella lines. A German satire site headlined, "Die Simpsons zerreißen die letzte von uns. Simpsons shred The Last of Us." The meme storm was global, and Bella, silent. Again. Her official account stayed dark. No comments, no denials, just silence while the mockery spiraled into cultural saturation. It was no longer just a bad moment. It was legacy damage. Now we reach the most uncomfortable question. Is Bella Ramsey's career over? Not paused, not slowed, over. In a different timeline, she could have been the next Saoirse Ronan or Florence Pugh, a chameleonic star with indie depth and blockbuster appeal. But in this timeline, she's the actor mocked by The Simpsons, dumped by HBO, and abandoned by her own showrunners. Yes, Hollywood loves a comeback, but comebacks require silence, humility, and transformation. Bella's last public act wasn't a reinvention, it was a live stream breakdown and a cryptic tweet storm. She's too young to be written off permanently, but her name now carries baggage, brand risk, public volatility, creative conflict. Major studios don't gamble on that. Streaming platforms want safe bets. Producers want actors who follow direction, not reprogram the narrative. And right now, Bella Ramsey is radioactive. The truth? She might not be blacklisted, but she's been benchlisted, watched, avoided, and quietly removed from the conversation. Bella Ramsey's fall didn't happen in one moment. It happened in slow, painful fragments. A tweet here, a controversial soundbite there, a fan base slowly turning, an executive growing anxious, a producer quietly switching scripts. And finally, The Simpsons, carving her name into the hall of pop culture shame with ink that doesn't fade. This was supposed to be her franchise, her throne, her defining role. Instead, it became a cultural implosion broadcast across the world. From Ellie to exile in under a year. Bella wasn't just fired, she wasn't just mocked. She was repurposed, repackaged as a warning, a cautionary tale of how quickly fame turns, how fast love evaporates, and how merciless the industry can be when you stop playing their game. Because in this industry, you're either the hero of the story or the meme that ends it.